By the way, the files being released did shake up my interpretation of the whole thing. I tweeted this once, but I was saying it tongue in cheek, but I kind of meant it sincerely, that I used to speculate that Jeffrey Epstein worked for Mossad. And after the files came out, it's looking a lot more like the Mossad worked for Jeffrey Epstein.
Exactly.
I mean, I did not think he was the Rothschilds guy. And so, like, this thing is a gigantic conspiracy. It's an interesting, limited look into how power really works.
You don't get a clear picture, but you see the shapes and you realize this is not what I thought it was. I actually came away from reading a lot of the Epstein stuff with a view of Israel that was diminished. I thought Israel had less power, but what he really was doing was acting as an employee of others, as a kind of communications hub between the biggest stakeholders in the West. And so what you really saw was that governments aren't in charge. There's no meaningful nation state with full sovereignty. Like, that's just not a thing. There's a suprastructure whose outlines I can't fully see or even partly see, but it's clearly there. And it's not all being run from the Levant by Netanyahu, who's probably got an IQ of 110. It's way bigger than Israel. Israel's just like a place to, hide out if you've been accused of a crime, get a passport, do some money laundering, whatever. It's a lot of things, but it's not. Israel's not running the world.
There are power structures that we do not fully know about that are way more important than a senator.
We bought the biggest lie of all, which is a competition between nation states, and you know what I mean. Ghana's got its own interests, but so does Singapore and China and India, and it's like, yeah, to some extent, but that's not. As soon as you have the free flow of capital, a globalized economy, then you have a globalized government, and by government I mean a governing body, which may be informal or have blurry edges, but it's still totally real. It's way more real than countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are countries, like, that's like almost a medieval view. But like after 1848, like after you had like the creation of like the resemblance or maybe the fiction of nation states. I mean, I think it's more complicated than I'm making it sound, but
yeah,
it's clearly not as simple as everyone else assumes.